It was a whole lot of exactly what I expected, honestly. It's all processes and tradition.
Careful with that thing. We're not even sure what it does. And some of us have to sleep here.
It will sunder all the living lands if we do not put a stop to it.
I know. I felt the lives lost.
It is inexcusable. The forces of nature must be kept in balance. This abuse cannot go unpunished.
It is young, fragile. So were we once. But the kith of the living lands cannot chart their own path if they live in fear of its whims.
Kith have no such resolve. The Akita are a pack without a head. They will not find one in a beast that cannot restrain itself.
It has never had cause to restrain itself. It acts out of fear. If we could temper its... No.
No. What do you mean?
We are too late. I sense a great shift in the Audra. One of our siblings has moved with terrible strength. What have they done?
May the hunt begin.
Gods. I could roast a Ballarok on the energy coming off this thing. Hey, I wanted to say that I'm sorry to hear about the whole Tama thing.
Thanks, Marius. That means a lot.
I've left people behind before. But it's different when you lose someone unexpectedly. So, sorry. Let's go.
Another glorious battle.
Careful, Envoy. Solace is panicking. Something's very wrong.
We need to leave.
And then what? Start all over with nothing? We beggars for the streets.
I don't like the way that lava is...
That's why Nandru built the sluice gates, to redirect the lava flows away.
Dear.
He's not the one I'm worried about. Someone's going to have to tell the outposts.
Sure, keep us going. You know what that means, right? I knew it. The moment I saw that Akira, I knew. That's what it's done.
Everyone, please, do not panic. Simply exit the keep, quickly and calmly, and...
Oh, Marius! Praise Abaddon! You are alive!
What's happening? Why is everyone running around like blessed fools?
The volcano erupted. Any minute now, we're going to be flooded. We're evacuating. Kostya's gone to open the lava sluice gates, but they've been disused for so long. When Forja erupted, I thought... Oh, my boy. I'm so glad you're alive. Unless you have come back to help us, Envoy, I don't have time for you. We're minutes away from being overrun by lava flows. I have to get my people out. You must leave now! We told you, we don't know, and this is hardly the time to be asking.
The Steel Garrote would tell you otherwise. We have reason to believe there's a path under the keep. Be thankful you're talking to us rather than them. They were planning to storm the keep.
They're all dead, by the way. You're welcome.
The Steel Garrote were marching on the keep? How? Why would they think the garden was beneath Solace?
This is not possible. She couldn't have been working on her own. She must have had help. Someone at the highest level of leadership. Someone on the council. No, it couldn't have been Kostya. It can't be. I trusted Kostya. We had our arguments, but
We took an oath to Nandru. The garden was our sacred duty. And he betrayed us. I can't believe I didn't see this coming. I was a fool. I have failed my duties. Kostya.
He lacks faith in the wardens and conviction in Nandru's teachings. But I always believed he had a certain strength of character, that he could see wisdom and bow before it.
I understand how Kostya could be tempted by false notions of freedom and prosperity, but... Oh, this is entirely too much. How could he have done this? I can't believe Kostya handed the Steel Garrote a secret we protected for hundreds of years. Mayu. Who knows what he'll do with the sluice gates? He cares so little for the keep that I worry he's going to have us drowning in lava.
I will show you where Kostya has gone. If you find that he's doing anything other than opening the gates that would protect our home from the lava, I would ask that you stop him.
Mihala.
I do not wish to see him dead, but if he would risk the keep, then he risks our lives. We cannot suffer those who would harm us to live. Now I must return to the evacuation, and you must go on your way. Let's hope we don't need your wishes. If your arrival is indeed a message from Nandru, I hope he remembers his people well. I hope he is proud of us. And Marius, make it back to us in one piece.
I assume that's an order, Commandant?
Head through the door in the smithy. You'll find Kostya in the lava tubes beneath the keep. Go now, and go with the gods.
Went through this door. Be careful down there.
These fungal growths look like something I'd have scraped off the ship in my Navy days. Let's keep moving. I'd rather not breathe in too many of these spores. That's getting high. We shouldn't stick around.
Nice shot! Come and get me. Oh, no, you don't! Goodbye.
This whole place feels like it's gonna come apart.
Kostya left them behind to die. Blessed Korba.
Put it down! Put it down!
Mine now!
Let's see what he's got!
Is that it?
Voices silenced.
Come on, we don't want to be down here when Kostya does whatever he's planning.
wound in return.
Watch your step. Even you wouldn't come back from that fall, envoy.
Kostya isn't going to wait around for us. Keep moving.
Endless night. When will the sun rise?
Kostya doesn't care who dies. Corbin must be stopped.
We should move.
We need to keep moving. Catch Kostya. Kostya knew about this, he'd be selling tickets. too!
Daylight. Essence we have not felt in centuries.
My brother, soul of my soul, how did you find me here? I have been here for so long. No one came looking. Andrew, you are blessed, my fellow Parkruman said. But I did not come here to meet Sabadal. I am hiding from them. I remember it all. I feel Sabadal's mind beneath yours, swimming in the deep. You should run. That was the name my mother gave me. But that was never what they called me. To them, I was beloved. An endearment my God wielded against me like a cudgel. I would have killed them with it if I could. But they were beloved of me, too. That was the name they gave themselves. Stolen from the ancient souls, whose deaths gave rise to them, to us. We were little more than appendages to them. That is why I must ask you to destroy them. You have seen them, as I have. Memories of their ancient, chosen children. Rips in the fabric between the here and the beyond that allow the dreams of the dead to leak through. Memories of the Akida. People like you, or I, who loved Sabadal and were betrayed by them. This land was once a jungle, rich, alive. I saw it through their eyes. The people tried to look after themselves, to rely less on Sabadal. But to be relied upon was all their God desired. They felled a tree, and for that slight, Sabadal turned their world to ash, ignited the breath in their lungs, and made their people into dust. Sabadal burned the world, and the people who revered them suffered for it. So that I would be confronted every day with what our God had done. So that I would not grow weak and give in. So that I would not go to them and do what they have asked of you. So that I would never set them free. No, their final death came later. A gift to the Akida from the true gods, who wished to bring their children back to them, back to her. The rightful queen, Wodiga. She is the center of everything. They shield you from the truth of what they are. The Dream Scourge has existed as long as they have. Don't you see? It is their infection. You, my brother, who are more brave than I, go now to the garden and hang the gardener from their tree. You need only walk a little more. You are nearly at the end. You know, I always meant to die down here. To siphon my soul into a lonely pillar, disconnected from the stone that makes our world. Disconnected from them. I only hope that Sapadal releases you to the same long peace. It is only a door, carved and warded by my own rough hands. It knew me. It will know you, because the same thorn tears at us both. I do not know my end. In that I find a peace beyond any even the true gods can dream of. Do not thank me. Only do as I asked. Destroy them, brother. And when you see Mordecai, tell her I said hello.
You okay? You went away again, but this time seemed different.
Envoy, you alright? We lost you there for a minute, but not like before.
Kostya's already proven himself an enemy of Solace. Whatever you choose to do with him after we stop him is fine with me.
Sluice gates ahead. Let's find Kostya, fast.
Lava's rising. We have to stop this now.
Good. You're here. Help me destroy this witch. We can't risk someone turning it and opening the gates. If the keep falls so that we might live, so be it. I figured you might have. Bloodthirsty. You people just can't help yourselves. Me, specifically? No. I only provided them access to material from the living archives. The books and records that the novice brought to them were what revealed the secret. By the way, is that novice still alive? I see. And what of the Steel Garrote? Should I assume they're all dead as well? I could have used them. I could have fixed everything. But you've done me a favor in a way. So long as the keep stands, my people are trapped here, doomed by an oath to a dead man.
No one should be bound to a pile of stones. Certainly not because of a centuries-old oath.
Our people were nomads for ages until we built the keep. When it falls, we'll be free to explore the world again. I will not watch my people rot here for the sake of a pointless oath.
Well, he has a point. But it's not worth letting Solace fall to prove it.
You, of all people, are speaking in favor of the suffocating grasp of tradition.
I'm talking about not destroying our ancestral home just because you don't like Nandru. You're just as blinded by those traditions as Mihala. Have the courage to leave if you want, but don't force everyone else to.
Then my conviction only grows stronger, Envoy. Nandru never wanted what was best for us. He built us a tomb and abandoned us to it. Do not speak his name to me as if it could mean anything to you.
A life for rubble, blood for the prison of old ways. We twine.
Stand down, Kostya. This just isn't your day.
So be it. And you are so close. The entrance to the garden is just beyond this door. I always knew it would come to this.
This one's mine! This one's mine!
Everybody all right? It's done. Solace is safe. Thank the gods.
Well, that's that.
Never thought I'd be so glad to see those blessed walls.
lack of ingredients again.
I've never been happier to see the keep standing tall.
We're alive! We're alive! Yes, calm down. What did you
I still can't believe that such
What
a
happened to
such
Darren?
thing
Is everyone all right?
goes that far.
I even considered supporting them.
Thank you. I cannot explain how afraid I was for my people and our home. Perhaps so. Either way, I understand now the nature of my errors. It will not happen again. Here. I once was this artifact's custodian, but I failed in protecting the keep. This belongs to one who has proven capable of guarding my people. I wish so much that things had gone differently. Marius, could I speak to you?
Right, did she just ask that? Or am I having another nightmare? Good. Let's save the hugs and tears for another time. Okay, let's hear it.
I'm so glad you're safe and that you're surrounded by good people.
All right. Waiting for the but?
There's no but waiting. That's all I wanted to say. Truly. I am genuinely happy you found friendship, Marius. You always deserved more than the world gave you. That's all I wanted to say.
Well, you've always given me more than I deserved.
It was a true thing.
Closer. We have waited so long.
I feel crazy saying this, but Kostya was right. We should have let Solace Keep fall.
Crazy is one word for it. You really think you can just burn down someone's ancestral home?
Dearie, the keep isn't a home. It's a prison. And now the Pargrunen will never escape.
Solace is my home. I still don't get why any of you feel like you have a say in this.
But you left.
Because I chose to. Kostya doesn't get to make that decision for everybody.
If Kostya doesn't, Mihala will.
Exactly.
The Pargrunen have always had the choice to leave, and we've seen very few take it, dear.
You saw how hard it was for Amalia and her people to leave. They were only allowed to because you found an extraordinary loophole. If anything, I imagine Mihala and her traditionalists will only make it harder to leave now. You know your own mind. There's something to be said for that.
True. And you've a date with the gods soon. We can only hope that you'll make better decisions.
And that's not all. Not to spoil the moment with good news, but I doubt the rest of the island has been quiet while we've been looking for the garden. Things have only gotten more tense since Fior, and the Steel Garrote probably hasn't been doing us any favors on that front.
Especially when they're led by a woman who doesn't seem interested in staying dead. Not to mention, after we take care of the Envoy's little god problem, we'll still have an empire bearing down on us.
At least on the battlefield, you can count on getting stabbed in the front.
Can't say I'm too excited about just walking into the garden. I grew up learning I needed to protect that place, but it never felt like more than a children's tale to me.
I hear you. This island is weird enough when all we have to worry about are vengeful plans and soul-altering corruption.
Am I the only one who's looking forward to the garden? We're pioneers, stepping into the great unknown. A land of mystery.
We have to remember to love them in spite of their lack of proper enthusiasm, dearie.
Of course we're frightened, but when has that ever stopped us? I have a theory about the garden, or a warning, depending on how you want to look at it. Sapadal has been imprisoned a long time. The garden will be a reflection of their dreams. Their nightmares. Their madness.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw visions or hallucinations, and not even the fun kind. Anytime, darling.
Before we go any further, I have to ask you something. You told the Inquisitor that you intend to free Sapadal. Set them loose upon the world. Is that still the plan? You're as unpredictable as ever. Not that I disapprove. Sapadal is responsible for the spiritual health of the living lands, and the island has suffered for it. No matter what the Inquisitor said, I don't believe there's a right or wrong choice to make here. Just the one you believe in. Putting an end to Sapadal's imprisonment one way or another. Remember, we're stepping into a realm that is both physical and spiritual in nature. If you can call it nature. There's no telling how long we'll be gone. For all we know, time could run backwards in the garden.
Not a chance. We're a crew now, so you're stuck with me until the end. Marius?
I told you I'd be with you till the end. I don't go back on my promises. What about you, Giada?
You're not going into the garden without me. I have to see this with my own eyes. Yatsli, if you feel like running back to Quilici, now would be the time. No one would think less of you.
And tell Quilici that I missed out on the most exciting part.
And you don't have to. We pull together, and that's plenty.
I plan on wandering the garden whether I'm traveling with you or not. I have to find out what the big deal is.
Agreed. I'm not waiting in camp while the rest of you have all the fun. Hope to see you out there, Marius.
Well, let's go then. We can't keep your god waiting.
going this way. Or maybe we are.
Nice of someone to mark that spot for us.
Gods, this is the place.
Is he really? Actually,
Take it!
go see him.
That's all of them. Yeah! Right. How did I know I'd be jumping into a giant pool of water today?
Don't look down. When you find Sapadal, I hope you tell him how much I love what they've done with this place. And you've got to enjoy it where you can find it. Besides, as divine prisons go, I can imagine much worse. True enough. It makes me wonder if confinement was the real goal, or simply the only option at the time. One thing's for sure, imprisonment has only riled Sapadal up. Judging from their outbursts at Mount Forja and Nakukubel, they haven't exactly taken this time to reflect and relax. Aha. I've heard that one before. Usually before a lot of tears, a lot of drinks, and a lot of, I should have known better. Still, you taught me that a person can grow beyond their flaws. Why wouldn't the same be true of a god? I hope you're right, because we are all in trouble if you're wrong. You know, if Sapadal were only a smuggler, assassin, or bandit, I'd be right there with you. But knowing they could end us all with a temper tantrum puts things in perspective. I guess we've all got our limits. And I don't envy you having to deal with the loose cannon of a god. But I envy even less the mess you're going to have when we escape this place. Lucky thing your emperor sent his best representative as his envoy, right? You'll have your work cut out for you. A lot of people aren't going to make that distinction. Especially when your Ambassador Heelguard hosted Ludwig in Paradis for as long as her assistance was convenient. You may have averted the attack on Fjord, but this is one situation where it's the thought that counts. And yeah, I know that's on the Steel Garrote, but it's not lost on anyone that your people despise animancy. Not when Heelguard banned the practice in Paradis. Even if you believe that, no one else will. And that's not all. You helped Ludwig destroy Nakukubel. And while most people don't give a tarnished skate for godless ruins, they'll see that as a powerful demonstration of siege weaponry. Again, people won't see a difference, not when your groups have been working so closely. And then there's Solace. You might have saved the keep, but no one's going to talk about the disaster that didn't happen. They're going to talk about why Mount Forja erupted after all this time. You'd be surprised where people can find blame when they're spun up. And it looks real bad when a Steel Garrote force just so happened to be there when it went down. Fairly or not, a lot of blame's gonna be laid at Adir's door. And if I had to guess, I don't think Heelguard's been helping matters while you've been out here. Oh, I'd like to. If and when we get out of here, we're walking into a powder keg. And you'll have to choose a side. That's the part I don't envy. Yeah, those were your orders. And if you make it back, you'll be the godlike Adiran who survived an assassination, treated with local leaders, faced a god, and stopped the Dream Scourge. That's a powerful symbol indeed. Finding kin and countryfolk is a hard thing to ask of anyone. It's part of why I came out here. I lost my stomach for Rawatai's campaign in the Deadfire, but I wasn't going to turn insurgent against my own people either. I don't mean to burden you. It's late, and you've still got a god to face. Just know that whatever you choose, I'll fight alongside you. I'm with you to the end of this. No matter what. Hey, it's not like you could possibly make the mess we're in worse, right? Anytime. Good night, Envoy.
You know what I miss?
So, this is it. The spiritual epicenter of the living lands. Where it all began, and where it all ends. For so long I have looked out on a horizon full of possibilities. Now that it's here, I'm too scared to breathe. Oh, why am I so anxious? You may be right. When I gave up, I stopped worrying so much. And now that we're here, it's obvious I don't know what I want anymore. Do you remember when Manto Pastor sent you after the heart of an Adragan? That was nothing compared to this. We are standing in the beating heart of the living lands. Just imagine what we can do with it. I almost turned my back on animancy. And if I'm being honest, it was a relief. But now that we're here, who am I to reject my upbringing, my potential? My parents were going to build a better world for animancers. That dream was their legacy to me. You and I have come farther than they did, to an impossible place where anything can happen. Anything. I'll try to remember that. I don't know what's going to happen, but you've had my back since the beginning. I won't forget it. I don't know what I expected. Everything here feels wrong, as if we're standing in the eye of a storm. Can you feel it? Essences radiating from the very stones on which we walk. This is a place of power. Forgotten by time. We are insignificant by comparison. Does that answer your question? Good, because I'm not sure any of that made sense. One word of advice: trust nothing you see or hear. For all we know, this is happening in your head. Or better yet, in mine. Well, that depends. I know a few spooky stories about the living lands. They may or may not have anything to do with the garden.
Okay, but if something goes bump in the night, I'm waking you up.
Let me think of a good one. There are so many, I can't decide. Which do you want to hear first? I know one about a ranger's dream, one about a haunted well, and one about a golden city. One sunny day, a ranger took a nap in the woods of Emerald Stair. He awoke to a forest of dead trees, the night sky full of unfamiliar stars. After getting his bearings, he walked in the direction of Fior Messivernal, but the settlement was gone. In its place was the most beautiful garden, hills bursting with flowers, the grass as soft as Valian silk. Enchanted by this vision, he bent to pick a rose, but its thorn cut like a knife, severing 3 fingers. Then, a voice filled his head, shouting, "Go now, before the land takes you, body and soul." He awoke in his own bed, a wilted rose clutched in his 2-fingered hand. It's nonsense, of course, but that's why I like it. Of course. Which one did you have in mind? Once upon a time, a young girl left town to fetch water from the local well. After pulling up the rope, she discovered the head of a Delimgan, one of the tree folk, staring at her from the bucket. "Return me to my grove," it said, "and I will grant you 3 wishes." So she carried the head into a peaceful clearing and sat it down on a tree stump. First, she wished for long life. The head granted her wish. Second, she wished to be impervious to a sword blade. Granted. And finally, she wished to know what happens after we die. No one ever saw her again. All they found was an Adra pillar in the middle of a clearing, next to an old stump. Of course. Which one did you have in mind? Many years ago, when Fior Messiverno was barely a dot on the map, an animancer got lost in the wilderness. He came upon a pair of ancient trees, their trunks and branches intertwined. A strange light shone in the space between the trees, and beyond that light, a city of gold. So the animancer returned with an axe to chop the trees apart and fit his body through the narrow gap. But with every blow of his axe, the towers of the golden city fell. The walls crumbled, the lights flickered out. By the time he made it through, there was nothing left. Only the bones of a once mighty civilization. As for the 2 trees, they were dead, hacked to splinters, leaving him no path back the way he came. The end of one story, and perhaps the beginning of another. It's very strange. I can't remember who told me that story, and no one claims to have heard it before. Very perceptive. What do you think it is? I have my own opinion, but I'm curious about yours. As an animancer, I hear that one a lot. These stories might not shine any light on the garden, but they could inform the way we think about it. First, the garden is beyond all mortal understanding. If you think you're safe here, you're not. And second, when you walk into the unknown, make sure to bring a friend. Indeed. I couldn't have made it this far on my own. Hey, you're a good listener. Not everyone has the patience to hold their questions to the end. Alas, that is all I can tell you about the garden. For now, at least. You have an inquisitive mind. I respect that. If you ever feel your education is missing something, I'd be happy to teach you what I know. All you have to do is ask. Excellent. The Imperial Court taught you well, but I suspect there were gaps in what they call an education. If there's anything you've been dying to learn from an animancer, now's the time. Very well. Hold your questions to the end if you don't mind. Otherwise, I'll lose my train of thought. Now, let's begin. You drifted off for a moment. Were you paying attention? Really? What's the last thing I said? Well, aren't you the clever one? No harm done, of course. I don't mind if you catch a few winks. Besides, a little nap is good for the soul. I slept through my share of lectures, and look how I turned out. That's all I have to teach you for now. I'll chime in if anything else comes to mind. The better question is, can I still be an Animancer? Could I even make a difference? As long as Fior Messiverno is safe, the Living Lands will have Animancers, whether or not I am one of them. And then there's the Dream Scourge, unraveling civilization as we know it. I don't know where that leaves me. The work my parents started may have no end in sight. We don't even know if the Living Lands can be tamed politically, much less spiritually. All of my discoveries have led to dead ends. Where then do I turn? All I know for certain is that I've been going about this the wrong way. I should be an Animancer for the right reason. With the Dream Scourge, I haven't got one. At least someone thinks so. Thank you for believing in me, whether or not I believe in myself. Anything in particular? Who could rest at a time like this?
Envoy, you're probably here to see how I'm doing, yeah? Well, I'm doing great. I always knew my home would destroy itself from within. I just never thought I'd get a chance to stop it. Right. If you get any more sappy, I'll think you've turned into a tree. But enough of that. You have a lot to do, and I'm right behind you. Right, changing the subject. Thanks for talking. Envoy, I've seen Mount Forgia erupt before, but never like that. It's like it was angry, like it was screaming in pain. I don't know what really happened, but I assume Sapadal was involved. Blessed gods. Is it too much to ask to just let us live our lives for a while? It's like they have nothing better to do. Anyway. Until next time. Envoy? Blacked out at that Audra and the lava tubes beneath Solace, but it seemed different somehow. Right. I actually believe you. This is madness, Envoy. You spoke to the founder of Solace. I bet it was. You could finally complain to someone about all the face stuff. People in Solace always claim they're speaking the word of Nandru. And here you are, actually hearing from the man. Doesn't even really matter what he said if you ask me. There are hundreds of Pargrunan who'd give anything to hear Nandru's voice. Blessed day impressive is what that is. Envoy, what do you need? Pleasant dreams. Envoy, what do you need? You too.
You could have helped Kostya destroy the keep, but you left it standing. Why? I agree. A decision like this belongs to the community, not the ambitions of one man. Even if Solace isn't going anywhere, I think your arrival was a sign of changes to come. Wherever you go, you break people out of their habits. You banish the old ways. Fate doesn't ask us what we want. Wherever that power comes from, whether it's your heritage or political status, it's a terrible burden. I don't envy you, but At least you keep things interesting. Until next time. Does anyone want to share a scary story?
No.
Gods no.
Why not?